estrela renascerá. A janela tá aberta, a casa é sua, pode morar. Me falta alguém trazer. Se o perigo é alto, não dá pra se ter lazer. E quando preso no carro, me resumo a sentir a vida. Triste demais pra televisão.
Seja bem-vindo. I definitely needed the mosquito net. That was really nice to have, was the mosquito net. All my stuff's downstairs, but I slept up here. Just feel safer up here in the trees. I don't know. My night lapse was kind of spoiled by that motion sensor light right there, which was overly aggressive. I don't know what it was sensing, just plant movement or whatever, but kind of spoiled that night lapse a bit. And I think 1600 ISO is probably a little too high. It almost seemed like daylight. But anyway, I've got a morning sunrise time lapse going. I did hear some people over there early this morning, but nothing crazy. It went on late. It was probably going to midnight, 1 o'clock, where there was traffic going back and forth last night. They're shuttling people back to BPS or Ohio, I don't know. But I really liked the town, liked Quadrao. I liked the southern portion of the beach I visited yesterday. It was really, really scenic. So we're going to visit the northern end of the beach today before my Uber driver, my off-the-clock Uber driver, comes and grabs me for BPS to our flight to GRU. We'll all need to grab an antigen test, and I've got basically all day in Sao Paulo to visit the Catedral and Mercado Municipal também. So we'll see what the day brings, all right? A bit more of the outside tour here. You've got, this is the door for like the lower unit, and the door for the upper unit is there. Kind of takes you up those stairs. I don't know what this area was or is for. There is a little rinse yourself off shower down there, but you get a little more deck space down here, which is nice. But when you've got that motion sensor light that just won't leave you alone, it's just like okay. You're backed right up to the jungle. Your bedroom is in there versus upstairs. I like I said, if I were to come back, I'd take the upstairs unit, just more airy. This stayed quite warm. Well, I was surprised. It's warm in here right now, and it's not just the fridge that's generating that heat. Maybe it's just being up against the sand. I don't know, but sun's on the rise. And once it gets a little higher in sky, once it gets a little warmer, I'll venture out. That's it. Bom dia, tudo bem? Hoje é sábado, and marking my spot where between those green and those white tables and chairs. We're about an hour away from low tide right now, and boy, can you tell, it's way out there. Yesterday I walked south. Today I'm gonna walk north, and I'm kind of thinking maybe it's going to be a bit more rural, a bit more sparse on this end. We'll see. Vejamos. A lot of really upscale kiosks, which I guess kind of makes sense for where I am. Dark clouds over towards Porto Seguro is probably getting rain right now. So just like Ahayel the other day, low tide exposes a lot of this coral barrier out here and creates kind of some really interesting wave patterns. I'm up to not even up to my knees, and I could walk there, but again, this coral is really, it's really sharp, and so I'm just kind of navigating the sand. Yeah, it looks like BPS is probably getting some rain, though it's not supposed to last long, and it's not supposed to be much. However, I've learned that weather forecasting here, here's the other tempo, is not very good. But it's certainly appearing that it's staying to the north of us. So hopefully it stays that way. All right,
You always get a little bit of motion sickness walking in a river because you're moving in one direction, but the river gives you a different perspective otherwise. You can get a little dizzy. All right, this is a little small stream. Actually, the bar I was at yesterday, just down the road from where I'm staying, had a little river behind it. I'm wondering if this is part of it, and it just goes right out to the water here. This, you know, dilution's a solution of pollution. You wouldn't want to necessarily spend a ton of time in there, but you know, walking through it, unless you've got like a bunch of open sores or wounds, you're probably going to be fine. It's just cranking right now. Well, with low tide about still an hour away, you can see to my left just how high tide is. But that's going to take a while. I obviously have plenty of time. I'm not busting tail to get, you know, beyond that little spit out there, but eventually that's where I'll head to see what's up around that bend there. I have a lot of time. A lot of these beachside kiosks really don't open till 10, although they say 10 and it's really like a quarter to 11 or so. I think they like to be here at 10, but that never really, maybe they're just rolling in then, but yeah. Roll to the end of the spit here. We'll take a peek and see what's on the other side, and it's really seeming like it's certainly clear here. It's a little dark down that way. Like, it looks like I'm kind of in the clear area right now of the sky, although it does look like back in BPS it's probably raining. But so far so good here. So you're greeted to just an absolutely stunning backdrop of sandstone cliffs once you get around that little spit there, and tide wave recede. You can see though that doing this at high tide just ain't gonna happen, not on the beach anyway. But those cliffs are just stunning from here. Here it is, they are planned. They have services, kiosks, beach kiosks set up every so often. This is the only place I've seen stretches of beach like this before, and it definitely allows for more foot traffic, that's for sure. I mean, it's obviously not crowded. You know, I literally see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, but I've seen less. You know, I've seen as far as I can see without people, so maybe I'm spoiled, but I think that yeah, they set these kiosks up where they make it really easy for people to walk up and down the beach. And I can see further up there's more kiosks and more people. So just up here you have this tiny little stream of fresh water. There's a little fisherman boat there, some houses. I don't know what's, oh, you know what, that's the golf course. Probably the clubhouse. And then you have cliffs up here. There's an access road, so that explains it. Anytime you give people easy access, you're gonna have more people, and that actually looks like a paved road as well too. I don't think we're gonna walk too much further, maybe just up by that second little outcropping there by those cliffs. Oh man, this current's just cranking. I'm not crossing there. That looks scary and dangerous. I'm gonna get swept off my feet. I don't know where I'm gonna cross. Way up there maybe? Cross down here by the beach. Even this current looks kind of funky and scary. I don't know. Let's try it here. Actually, it doesn't appear to be that. It's not. It's just the movement. You got to kind of look over at your horizon because the movement of the river kind of throws off your equilibrium. Okay. Beach dogs. Beach dogs are generally friendly. There's just a lot of them. Some new construction up there. Another giant kiosk. A couple more fisher boats back there. That's heading back south again. Big giant beach kiosk area, or beach club they call them. You sit down, you're already gonna get charged like a surcharge for the umbrellas, tables, and chairs, which is fine. I mean, in a way, they also kind of look after your stuff too. It's not good for business to have your stuff stolen. So, you know, there's pros and cons. I don't mind it. It's a service, and your stuff's generally safe just sitting there. So the backdrop of this, which is kind of tough to see because the sun is flaring, but you have these really cool cliffs up here. I don't know. I see some wooden structures up there. I'm sure there's some way to get up there somehow. Another more beach kiosks. Unbelievable. Like, it is really disappointing just how many beach kiosks. I was thinking this is just going to be a nice little quiet little nook, but nope. They got beach chairs and shit here too. Jesus. It just never ends. Really never ends. I almost had a little second set of spit where those rocks fell down and went boom. You know, I would say if I had to guess, they're probably 150 feet high, más o menos. They're much taller down that other section there, closer to Ahayel. They're much taller. I've not seen an easy way to get up there. I don't see any fencing or overlooks. I also don't see big trees on the tops of these cliffs. I see grass, but not big giant trees, which maybe are the reason why those are eroding more slowly. But cool nonetheless anyway. Alright, you can kind of see we're trying to end of that spit or whatever. And there's a bunch of cool rocks. High tide, you're not getting by here, that's for sure. No, not a bad stretch beach. At about 8:30, tide is slowly on the rise, and we're going to be actually a pretty healthy walk around that little nook right there. That was kind of the goal until I saw these cliffs, and then that became the goal. Didn't rain a drop, which is good news. Yeah, the color of the water here, this kind of greenish turquoise is just amazing, especially against blue sky, white clouds, green plants, yellow or white sand sometimes, and the white caps. Really is just pleasant to look at. Well, so comparing low tide, you can definitely do a lot more swimming here in Trancoso than you can in Ahayel with low tide. With high tide, you're not going to be doing any swimming up there because there's just no beach left. But yeah, low tide, definitely calm, swimmable, low waves. Although it is a little diverse in terms of how strong those waves. Some spots are just really choppy, like south of here it seemed quite strong, but really up along here it seemed pretty easy going. I'm sure that changes at high tide where you can see those, the difference is quite substantial, and it looks like it drops off quite quick. It's kind of cool to be standing like above my head in water, because you see where those chairs are. Water's gonna be lapping up against those chairs here in a few hours, and it's kind of always cool to see. You can see the tide is moving in now. Came up on these mangroves earlier, this kind of slow winding, lazy little stream. Sand here really is nice and soft. I mean, it's a little more work to walk through it, but nice and soft. It's really fine like powder. You know, I wasn't able to figure out which beach kiosk was playing the horrible 80s music last night, and then now as well. I just don't remember what time they started, but we'll do video commentary, I think, from up there, because it's pretty cool. Yeah, why that motion light's even functioning during the day, I don't know. Okay, Trancoso Bahia. Would I come back? I would. You know, it was okay. It was okay. I mean, the beach really is spectacular. The Quadrao really is quite quaint. It really has a lot of charm, but it is really too upscale. It doesn't, like Ahayel, it just doesn't quite feel like Brazil until you get to the beach, although it does feel a little more so than Ahayel. I'm not in a hurry to come back. It was beautiful. I would certainly stay at this Airbnb again. This place was awesome. I would recommend the top floor versus just the bottom, but I would definitely stay here again for sure. A lot of traffic down this little road. What amazes me is just how much they've done with the little infrastructure they have. That's impressive. It's a chore to get here, and that is also shown by the rates in terms of taxis and how expensive taxis and Ubers are to get here. You know, there's rumors of like 500 reais trips to the airport from here. You know, we'll see, but I'm not paying that. But it's possible. But you know, just the logistics of setting this stuff up here is quite impressive. I'll give Trancoso that for sure. They've done a lot with a little. The beaches are what you'd expect in Bahia. They're beautiful, stunning backdrop, sandstone cliffs, wonderful sand. Tide really didn't interfere much like it did in Ahayel. But the beaches are absolutely wonderful. That's definitely the draw. There's a lot of restaurants here. I didn't eat in any of the main ones on the Quadral. I was at a burger place just on the edge, which I had started before I left. It had a delicious meal there for a very reasonable price. But yeah, Trancoso, if you're nearby, if you're in BPS, if you're in Ahayel, definitely come down and see for yourself. I'm sure this area is going to change a ton over the next 5, 10, 15 years or so. Also, it's certainly skewed younger. There were definitely more young couples here. Not families, not a ton of just old people, which is always nice. It's nice just not having old people in your way all the time and just slowing everything down and just oblivious to it. But it's younger couples, it's upscale, a lot of taxis, a lot of buses back and forth. There's a lot of money floating around here, that's for sure. But yeah, beaches are just stunning. They speak for themselves. Also, obviously, if you go to Quadral, make sure you see it during the day and make sure you go to see it during the night also. There's beautiful views during the day that you don't want to miss. And night is just really quite special there. It's kind of magical even. Definitely don't miss it at night. Okay, all locked up. We're going to lock this door here and be good to go. Alright, well, you're looking at it, and it's not really much, but this is Porto Seguro's airport. It's tiny. If you blink, you're going to miss it. This is really your best options for eating around here. It does have a nice view, though. Car rental agencies are behind me, and I think one in front. It's just not enough seating inside either. It does have a nice view. You're looking at it, and there's really not much. See the ATC in the distance there. Yeah, this is just a really small airport. I think this is smaller than even Foz do Iguaçu, maybe even smaller than Jampa. And that's their VIP tent, literally. But what it lacks in size and services, it makes up for view. Of course, I'm not going to go down too far in there, but it's a nice view. Down there is where we crossed earlier. Across the boat barge. And up there is Oceanological and an almost full moon. How about that? Really cool entrance. So room tour, it's sketched down there. It's pretty sketch. It's cool, but it's sketch. Probably can't see much. I'm not really here for the apartment. I'm here for the view. Wow, big TV right in front of the bed. I need that at home. That's cool. What I'm here for is the view. Oh wow. Holy shit. Hello, Sao Paulo. Copen. And the Italian building and that marvelous, wonderful, iconic Art Deco copy of the Empire State Building is really cool. Well, you can actually go out there too. Wow, lots of construction down there. This is a sweet view. And I forget what that building is because it's late and I'm tired. I stayed there it's probably been 5 years ago. Copen. View was really incredible with that as well. That used to be the tallest building here for a while. It's not anymore. But wow, this is cool. I'm tempted to go outside. It's pretty sketch down there. But I like it. Alright, that's it. Yeah, I gotta say, this view does not disappoint. Am I facing east? I kind of think maybe I am. I'm not sure though. Let's check out the sunrise times.
dia açucarina, água cristalina. This a perfect day. This a perfect day. Dia perfeito, dia feliz, dia margarina, dia açucarina, água cristalina. This a perfect day.